It's no secret that Paris is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. It's the city of love, art, and fashion. But if you only have 24 hours in Paris, how can you make the most out of your time? That's exactly what we're going to discuss in this video. We'll be sharing our ultimate guide so you won't miss any must-see attractions and experiences. So get ready and let's dive into our 24 hours in Paris guide. Starting off our list at No. 1 is the iconic Eiffel Tower. This wrought iron lattice tower is not only the symbol of Paris, but also one of the most famous landmarks in the world. The construction of the Eiffel Tower was completed in 1889 for the World's Fair, and it was initially meant to be a temporary structure. However, due to its popularity, it was decided to keep it as a permanent monument. You can either admire the tower from afar or get up close and personal by taking an elevator or climbing the stairs to the top. Once you reach the summit, you'll be rewarded with breathtaking panoramic views of the entire city. Pro tip: if you want to avoid long queues, head to the Eiffel Tower early in the morning or late in the evening. You can also book your tickets online in advance to skip the line. Next up at No. 2 is the Louvre Museum. This world-renowned museum is home to some of the most famous works of art in history, including the Mona Lisa and the Venus de Milo. The Louvre was originally a royal palace in the 17th century, but later became a museum in the 19th century. Today, it's the largest art museum in the world and attracts over 7 million visitors each year. It would take you at least a full day to explore the vast collection of art housed within its walls. But if you're short on time, there are certain highlights that you shouldn't miss. Pro tip: start your visit at the Pyramid of the Louvre and head straight to the Mona Lisa, as it's often the first exhibit that comes to mind when people think of the Louvre. No. 3 on our list is the Notre Dame Cathedral. This iconic Gothic cathedral is another must-see attraction in Paris. Construction of the cathedral began in the 12th century, and it took over 2 centuries to complete. The most famous feature of Notre Dame is its 2 massive bell towers, which were designed by the architect Victor Louis in the 18th century. Unfortunately, the cathedral suffered significant damage in a fire in 2019, but it's still open to the public for tours. While you can no longer climb the towers, you can still marvel at their beauty from the ground. Pro tip: arrive early in the morning to beat the crowds and book a tour to learn more about the fascinating history of this iconic landmark. Moving on to No. 4, we have the Latin Quarter. This historic neighborhood is home to some of the oldest and most beautiful buildings in Paris, as well as some of the best restaurants and cafes. The Latin Quarter is also home to the famous Sorbonne University, which was founded in the 13th century. If you're interested in history, you can visit the Pantheon, a mausoleum that houses the remains of some of France's most famous figures. Or you can wander through the narrow streets and soak up the atmosphere of this charming neighborhood. Don't forget to stop by Shakespeare and Company, one of the most famous bookstores in the world. Pro tip: try to experience a traditional French cafe culture by ordering a coffee and a pain au chocolate at one of the many sidewalk cafes. Next up at No. 5, we have the Palace of Versailles. This magnificent palace was once the home of the French royalty and is now a museum open to the public. The palace is famous for its opulent interiors, exquisite gardens, and the Hall of Mirrors. A 400-foot-long room with over 350 mirrors that reflect the light from the chandeliers, creating a dazzling display of light and color. The palace also has sprawling grounds that include the royal stables and the Petit Trianon, a small palace that was once the home of Marie Antoinette. You could easily spend a whole day here exploring all of the different rooms and grounds. Pro tip: consider booking a guided tour to learn more about the fascinating history of the palace and its inhabitants. At No. 6 on our list is the trendy and picturesque Montmartre neighborhood. This is the place to be if you're looking for a taste of local culture. Montmartre is home to the famous Sacré-Cœur Basilica, which offers stunning views of the city from its dome. You can also visit the Place du Tertre, a square filled with artists' booths, where you can purchase hand-made artwork, or even get a portrait done of yourself. Don't forget to check out the nearby Rue des Besses, a charming street with colorful buildings and a funicular railway. And if you're in the mood for some live music, head to the famous jazz club Caveau de la Hachette. Pro tip: to get the most out of your visit to Montmartre, consider taking a walking tour led by a local guide. Up next at number 7 is the famous Champs-Élysées. This iconic avenue is one of the most famous streets in the world and is known for its luxury boutiques, designer showrooms, art galleries, and theaters. The Champs-Élysées is also home to the famous Arc de Triomphe, a monumental arch that was built to commemorate the victories of Napoleon Bonaparte. At the end of the avenue, you'll find the Champs-Élysées, a large plaza that serves as the site of important events, such as the start and finish of the Tour de France. Pro tip: if you're looking for some retail therapy, head to the many high-end shops along the avenue. Just be prepared to spend some money. Next on our list is the quirky and unique Musée d'Orsay. This museum is housed in a former railway station and features a vast collection of art, from the Impressionist period to the early 20th century. Some of the most famous works in the museum include paintings by Monet, Renoir, and Van Gogh. In addition to the impressive collection, the museum also features an elegant glass dome that floods the interior with natural light. It is definitely worth a visit if you're interested in art or just want to experience the beauty of this unique building. Pro tip: arrive early in the morning to avoid the crowds and plan to spend at least 2 to 3 hours here to fully appreciate the collection. Next up, we have the charming and historic Saint-Germain-des-Prés district. This is a neighborhood that has long been associated with artists, intellectuals, and celebrities. You can stroll along the banks of the Seine River and admire the picturesque views of the city. Or you can stop by one of the many cafés and boutiques along the way. Don't forget to check out the nearby Luxembourg Gardens, a beautiful park that's perfect for a relaxing walk or picnic. Pro tip: if you're interested in history, head to the nearby church of Saint-Germain-des-Prés, which dates back to the 6th century. And finally, at number 10 is the illuminated Eiffel Tower at night. There's nothing quite like seeing the Eiffel Tower all lit up at night. The lights were first turned on in 1889 and have become a symbol of romance and love. The best way to see the illuminated tower is to take a boat tour on the Seine River which will give you a unique perspective of this iconic landmark. You can also head to the Champ de Mars, a large park that surrounds the Eiffel Tower, and enjoy the view from the ground. Pro tip, if you're feeling adventurous, you can even take a helicopter tour for a bird's eye view of the sparkling Eiffel Tower. While this list is by no means exhaustive, it should give you a good starting point for planning your own 24-hour adventure in Paris. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel guides. And if you have any tips or suggestions for things to do in Paris, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy travels.